Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series of Sonic Rush for the DS. This came out in 2005, which is quite a long time ago, like wow. And I like this game a lot. I wanted to show this off after Crash Bandicoot. I was just like, I'm in the mood for Sonic, so yeah. Time to show off Sonic Rush, I guess, really. I'm going to do a bit of a different thing with this though. So when you play this game normally on the DS, Sonic is constantly hopping between two screens, like the top screen and the bottom screen. When you play it yourself, it's quite smooth, you know, it makes sense. But when you're trying to watch a video on YouTube and stuff, you got like this giant like border also, and just loads of empty space, and it's not going to look good enough. So I've decided that every time Sonic goes to a different side on the DS is when I'm going to like cut to it. Also, it's essentially like grabbing a camera and then trying to follow the hedgehog, if you will. But for Sonic Rush, well, it's pretty bloody quick. It's a lot faster compared to the other titles on the Mega Drive and stuff. I mean, as you can see, we're already into like the special stage. Most of the time, you are boosting, doing tricks, and trying to keep your boost gauge up so that then you can just fly through the level. But to get to the special stages, there's a part of the level where if you come across like this sort of strange looking thing that you can swing on, if you have enough boost on it, it then teleports you to a special stage. And in this layout, there are times in the game where things will just stay on the bottom screen and then stay on the top. And so for this, during your time playing through the special stage, I'm actually using the stylus and the touch screen to guide Sonic. The top screen that you see to the right there shows you the number of Chaos Emeralds also that is required to unlock like something extra, as well as the amount of rings also that you need for each round, if you will. Now the controls for this are actually pretty good, to be honest. In retrospect and stuff, this is probably like my favorite of the special stages in the Sonic games, because I find that this one's quite simple, quite straightforward. I can see things ahead of me, and to tell you the truth, even though it's like with a touchscreen control, it's actually pretty smooth. Like, it works surprisingly well. When I want Sonic to go more to the left or to the right, like super quick, I can just drag it, you know, with my stylus or finger, I suppose. But I tend to use the stylus, really. Ever since, like, I've played the DS, I haven't really used my finger. So I've always just, like, used the stylus. I have lost them. They are bloody easy to lose, those things, I tell you. But, yeah, there's, like, the first Chaos Emerald. They do get progressively harder along the way. But, they're actually, not too bad in terms of, like when you compare it to stuff like Sonic Heroes, if you will, because as much as I do like Sonic Heroes, the special stages in that game are a little bit buggy, because whenever you dash and stuff, sometimes you can get stuck on the ceiling of the tube, and sometimes the characters just mysteriously fall from it, and it's just, I don't know. I've got used to it over time, but I have sort of acknowledged that special stages in Sonic Heroes are not particularly the most polished, I tell you. I mean, yes, the solution is to become Knuckles and then just hold down the button to boost, but the fact that you have to do that in order to win is a bit strange, you know? Especially for like Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive, where like it was the same or similar to what you see in this, and you know, just made more sense, if you will. Whenever there's like two screens being shown at once, I try to show off every part of the game that you see. So there might be points where I'm just randomly cutting between, like showing two screens on display and then just the one. This LP is pretty much an experiment, if you will, because at least then it kind of helps me out for DS games in the future, for ones that just continuously hop back and forth between the screens. Because honestly, Sonic is just constantly going back and forth. It's crazy. Like I said before, though, if you play it yourself, it makes sense. Like, you don't really notice it because your eyes just sort of switch, because you try to focus on where Sonic is, if you will. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty tight, if you will. I've got a lot to say about this game, though, like, my goodness. It has a different gameplay style, though, compared to the other ones, where, like, even though there is, like, a boost button, you are encouraged to do tricks. And how you do that is every time you hit like one of these springs, if you press the B button, as you see, he performs like a bunch of tricks there. But merely after landing, well, not after landing, so shall I say, like before landing, you need to press the A button because then it does like a finishing move. And that gives you like a bit more of a boost or so to your boost gauge to the left. That's the thing that I've learned over time anyway. Oh yeah, also the special stages, you find multiple of those swingy things. Like there isn't just one of them in the level. I don't know how many there are in like total for every single one. But most of the time, whenever I play through this, I don't think I've had a moment where I've ran through a stage and I haven't found one of those. So they are placed quite nicely, you know? The boost gauge does deplete after a while though. That's why you have to continuously like make tricks to keep it going. I mean, you don't have to. It's just, it's more fun, basically. And in terms of rankings, I'm not going to go for all S ranks in this because, well, you don't really get anything for it. It's more just something extra if you feel like it. Whenever I play Sonic Rush, I just want to like dash through the levels, you know? And when you clear 2 acts, it leads you to the bosses. Yeah, kind of similar really to the other games, particularly. And of course, Eggman is here, doing his usual schemes and stuff. And we're going to put a stop to it. It's going to have like a similar layout though to the special stage because this one actually takes place prominently like on the top screen. And then the bottom screen is where you see like the enemy's health. I've tried my best to sort of make it look indistinguishable. So you can't really tell if the thing at the top is top screen or bottom screen. At least I've tried it anyway. For the bosses, because I've put the game onto normal mode, it means that the health bar of this is just all the way to the max. If you put this on easy, it does shrink it down a slight bit, and trust me, that helps out with some of the later bosses, because Sonic Rush has some pretty challenging bosses, I do find, especially the last bloody boss. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. Like, oh my goodness. The whole entirety of this gameplay footage that you're seeing, I've already beat like the whole game. Like I've already played through all of Sonic's story in like one take, if you will, because, well, I mean, it's not too long of a game. When you know what you're doing, you can actually finish Sonic's story in roughly around, I want to say, maybe an hour or 2. For me, it took 2 hours though, because I kept dying on the bloody final boss. Like, oh my goodness. And on each episode now, I'll probably have a lot to say about the soundtrack to this game, because bloody hell, it's unique, I tell you. It's by the same composer who made the soundtrack to Jet Set Radio, Hideki Naganuma. Yeah, he was a part of this. So all the samples now are present in this game, and it's so interesting to find where they originally like came from. Like, my goodness. The mixing and stuff in this is crazy. It's one of the more unique soundtracks in the Sonic series, I would say. It's up there with like Sonic CD, the Japanese soundtrack. I do like the US soundtrack as well, but I do kind of prefer the Japanese side to it. It's always interesting seeing the differences in music and stuff for Sonic the Hedgehog, I tell you. Anyway, yeah, that's it for the boss, really. I have had moments, though, where things did screw up, where, like, the part that rolls, you're meant to jump over it. When he does it, like, 3 times in a row, I've had times where I mistime my jump, and it's an instant death, that bloody thing. Like, it plummets you right off the edge of the cliff. And then that's it, really. Oh yeah, we got a new mysterious character here. Wow. Bloody hell. It's crazy, because this character is everywhere now. Absolutely everywhere in this series. So it's kind of interesting, really, to find this is, you know, where this particular character came from, if you will. I keep saying if you will a lot. That seems to be like my favourite word.
Can we try this again?
There are points as well where I do sometimes get S ranks and stuff. Like I say, it all depends really, just how the performance goes. As long as I clear the level though, that's all that matters, if you ask me. He's got another crazy scheme indeed, yeah. Oh yeah, just Tails is mysteriously here. It's like, What? Okay. I mean, he's a part of the adventure, I understand that. Sonic's, pal, if you will. But there's, like, no build-up to it or anything. He's just magically here. And I guess, we just gotta roll with it. This is, the world map, though. And Tails will be our navigator to help us through it. I mean, it's not too hard to navigate. Also, player character is my favorite character. Absolutely. And, yeah, we'll be going on to Zone 2, which is the Water Palace. That'll do it for this episode, though, so I will see you in the next one.